is Manish Sinha, and I am a full stack developer having experience of 9 years. And just now I'll be showing you how to install Angular in your system, and I am using a Mac system. So let's start. So for installing Angular, the prerequisite is you should have Node installed in your system. So basically what I will do is I will go to the Node website. So this is your Node website, and you can go and install this Mac OS installer. This is 64-bit, so I have got it installed already. So I will just show you how to check whether it is installed in your system or not. So I will open the terminal, and by the way, this editor is Visual Studio Code that is used to for coding in Angular, but you can also use Eclipse because you know that front end back end developers basically use Eclipse on large scale. So you can use code mix plugin in your Eclipse, and that will enable you to code in Angular as well in your Eclipse. So as of now I am using Visual Studio Code. So I will open the terminal and I will type node minus v. So this is the present version of Node that is installed on my Mac. Now my next step is to install Angular. For that the command is npm, that is Node Package Manager, install, very obvious, it's installed, and minus g, that means globally and not only for this session, so that is globally, and that will be Angular CLI. CLI is nothing but command line interface. So after typing this, I will press enter. I have also got this installed in my system, so it will just fetch all the metadata and all the packages from internet, and it will update the already installed version. So at the end of the installation process, what I should get is how many packages are updated. So let's wait for that. So till it gets updated, let me talk something about Angular. So Angular is basically an object-oriented language, just like Java that you might have worked on. So, so sorry to interrupt, but it has updated. I will continue on that line. So it is an object-oriented language, and it uses interfaces and objects and all sort of things that an object-oriented language should use. So now our next step is to create a new Angular project. So the command is very simple, ng new. So ng is the basic command. Ng is the parent command that you should use for any of the steps in Angular. So ng new, and I will type in ng1. So once I press enter, it should create a new project, and these are the steps. So would you like to add Angular routing? So of course, unless it is a very raw website having a single page, you will not have any redirections, so you can skip as no. And but in normal scenario, it is a website which will redirect to other pages, so we will need routing, and I will type in y and press enter. Now, the second question that it asks is, what is the style sheet that you want to use? So you can use CSS, SCSS, SAS, less stylus. So the most common and good feature comes in with SCSS, and it is also pretty much similar to CSS but with the enhanced features. So I will select SCSS. Now the process has launched. Let it continue, and now I will go to a basic project that I had already created. So I will open this project. So this will be the basic project that you will get once the earlier shown process is complete. So what is it, does it have? It has a src folder, that is the source folder. It has some JSON files. So let me go into the important files that you should be aware of. So one is tslint.json. So what is tslint.json? So basically it is the check style of Angular. So when you are typing your code, you should adhere to some rules that are there in tslint.json. Basically, linting is a term that we use to check the uh, rules before you build your code. So these are some of the rules that comes uh, predefined in our Angular project. So let us take some examples like quote marks. So it's true and single. So that means that you can have only single quotes. You cannot have double quotes. Now these are some other commands like no consecutive blank lines. So you cannot have two new lines consecutively. Now to check what are the possible tslint.json rules, you can press control in space and you will get all the possible options that are present. The second thing is package.json. So this will look similar to you, like this is a something like maven that is used in your Java development. So this is something like you will get the documentation of the version of particular libraries that are used in this project. So this you can just look into. Now our src folder, when you open your src folder, your app is the folder that will have your early component. So this is the app routing model.ts. ts is nothing but TypeScript, and this will contain the list of or the mapping between your components and your router link. That will mean that if you click on that particular link, you will be redirected to that component. This is the app component.html. This is the page where your HTML or the view will go in. This is your CSS where your style sheet will go in, and this is your spec.tss. Spec, by the way, is denotes the test classes. So this is the spec of Angular, and this is your TypeScript. This is the thing where you will go and write your logic. Apart from that, this is the asset where you will put your images or PDFs and all those stuffs, all those static stuffs that you'll be incorporating in your website. So this all will go into assets. Apart from that, this is the environment. So basically, these are the things. These are very simple things that will be mentioned here. For production, this will be loaded, and for non-production environment, this is the file to be loaded. So these are the basic files that you will come across. So this is all I wanted to cover in this particular video, and in the next video I will be going and checking. So by the way, I can also go and start a new terminal and create a new component. So for that, the command is ng generate component, and I will write user component and press enter. So let's go into an Angular project. uh, my bad. So let me check it. So now let us run that command here. So now if you see that it has created only those files that we're looking into. These are the four basic files that it should create. One is the SASS, HTML spec, and TS. If I load my system, open this folder, so you'll see that there is a new component that is created, that is user component with all those files. So that's all my friends, and I will catch you in the next video with more details on Angular. Thank you.